Welcome to the tea with Nee and Ree. I'm your host, Nee, and this is my co-host.
Ree. Hey everyone. It always goes out on the end part that you're doing.
Y'all hating. My sound be off the chain. So, girl, what we talking about today?
We are talking about last week we were talking about us re-entering the workforce, or no, excuse me. Do you have to make a decision between your career and motherhood?
Yes.
Today, and as y'all can see, we're in a better background, y'all. We
Yes.
met,
Yes.
but but today we're talking about do you make a choice in choosing some of your careers? Are you limiting yourself in some of your career choices by taking certain roles that you feel are better suited for a woman? Or are you avoiding certain roles that you feel are better suited for a man? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And what sparked this conversation is because I recently posted a job post for a receptionist in my office, receptionist, front desk, slash like assistant, that kind of thing. And I will say the large majority of the applications I received, and I probably received over like 60 to 70 applications, were mainly females. Maybe there were 2 or 3 males, but it really wasn't a whole lot. So I was like, after our conversation last week, I was like, why is that? Why are we not going? Why are we choosing certain positions and a male does not choose certain positions? Or I wonder if we would choose higher positions like manager roles, that kind of thing. But these entry level positions, it seems like it's predominated by females. Now that's just my observation. What do you think, Shanice?
So I was gonna say, if I look at it, the grand scheme of things, even in like I was a social work major, service oriented, and then even in that field, schools, um, like social workers, you have any kind of helping field, you
Serving people.
mostly, yeah, you mostly see women. You do
Mm-hmm.
see women there. And I know, especially in schools, we probably need more men. We need those male figures to be in those roles. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's our nurturing, what I would say, our nurturing form, the
Mm-hmm.
way we are, we do tend to deviate to those roles instead of the less, the ones where, like, I don't know how many female doctors we have compared to male doctors, but I do know it's been an increase. We do have more doctors, but I don't know. I think it's maybe that nurturing thing. Again, how last week we talked about how unconscious or subconsciously we just make a decision and we don't know. I think we
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing in the workforce because you just tend to go to those roles where we nurture. You know, you may have fun that deviate and say, yeah, I'm gonna be an engineer, or just do something that's not typical woman, so to
Yeah.
speak. So yeah.
And I think, like even piggybacking off of your point, like a large majority of males are doctors. I will say in my profession as an optometrist, that is changing. The women are taking over. Yes, we're about like 70%. Don't quote me on that statistic, but I know it's probably around 70%, maybe even a little bit higher, are females. But I still get questions every now and then. Oh, I didn't realize you were a female or whatever, or they're surprised to see a female doctor. Yeah. I mean, not that they're surprised to see a female doctor, not surprised.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, me too. I've changed my gender. No. We're not going there. We're not going there. But I know in my particular profession, it has taken over. But if you look at doctors and nurses, it's a large majority of female nurses. If you see a male nurse, you're usually taken aback. So I guess that might be how people feel when they see a female doctor or whatever. But even in that particular field, also in schools, like in high school and elementary schools, I rarely ever saw male teachers. There were male teachers, but they were few and far between. But I will
Yes.
say once we got to college, I definitely saw more male teachers. Also, too, even the principals at elementary schools, middle schools, they were males.
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers were the females and stuff like that. So that hierarchy, it was always present. And then I think also too, definitely when I was growing up, you know, the boys played with the trucks and the cars, and the girls would be playing house and stuff like that. So it was just different gender.
Them boys try to sneak in there and play house too. Play house too. Mm-hmm. They was in.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But yeah, it's a different way. So maybe we are, I don't know if it's been ingrained in us to choose certain roles, or to say, hey, this is something that a male is typically better at. This is something a female would be typically better and we unconsciously are limiting ourselves. There have been statistics that have also shown that females will not apply for a job if they don't feel like they meet majority of the qualifications. Whereas a male, they might only meet 2 or 3 and they're going for the job. They have that confidence or whatever that they can obtain the skills, or that they would still work well in the particular position. But we as females, the studies were showing, I won't say that we tend to shy away, but it's like if we haven't really checked every box, we're not as willing to apply for certain positions. So I don't know, Nee, what do you think we should do to change that, or what can women do to change that dynamic?
Well, I was gonna say 2 things real quick. I remember when I was in a business class, and my professor actually talked about that. So what happened was, you have, like, we'll just say we had a man and a woman in the same role. A man, typically a white male, was quicker to ask for help on a project because he wasn't seen as being weak. He saw himself as, Bobby out, I'm gonna ask Bobby gonna help me out. But when it came to a woman, we'll be more shy, because I guess we don't want to be looked at as, oh, we don't know, or we want to make sure that we're sure of ourselves. And that's something I think that was put in our heads too. Like, we always got to prove that we're better and greater. So if we did ask for help, it probably wouldn't be for somebody that's on a job, when a male, in fact, would, and wouldn't think anything about it. He'll get his help, and he wouldn't be looked as not knowing. Now, say if she did ask for help, you still may have some people that say, well, she don't know what she's doing, that's why we shouldn't have hired her anyway. But in that same sentence, if a male asks for help, he won't be looked at differently. Like, we're looked at to be the weaker vessel. Now, even with all of that, we do have a lot of things going on now that I believe empowers and encourages women. We have Black Girl Magic. We have a lot of commercials where you like fight like a girl or run like a girl. There are a lot of things that are encouraging and motivating the young ladies for today. So I think that concept, maybe now, and we're probably seeing it, it's going to change. Like you said, there's more women doctors in your field. I think a lot of stuff, the dynamics are going to start to change just because of the opportunities. We do have more opportunities, still disparities, but there are more opportunities for even my kids now than it was for us when we were growing up. So I don't know if we have to do anything. I think it's just happening. I think people are like, nope, we're not going for the same old.
Yeah, and I guess too, things it's been a problem that has been going on for a long time in affirmative action. I know some people think affirmative action, it was, for Black people, it was supposed to be benefiting Black people, but really it kind of helped all the minorities, like women and things like that. So yes, I think things are changing. Also, as we are redefining gender roles, or what a male or female should or could be doing. And as we're teaching that to our children growing up, things will start to shift as well. I had a question about something you had said in regards to the male versus the female, if they asked for help, feeling that they were weak. Were they saying that they were viewed by others as weak, or was that something that the individual?
We felt that. That's what we felt. Like, that was our self. Yeah. Like, most of the time, if you ask the woman, because they even asked the question to us, like, how would you feel? And I didn't even think about it, but I was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't, especially if I had to ask it to another male. I'm not, but I would ask another female. Just because you want to always, you got to present yourself as better. You just got to be better. You have to be better. You don't want to be looked at as not knowing, or even like stupid. You don't want somebody to think that you're stupid. You have to know what you're doing. So Yeah, we were hesitant. In that conversation, most of the women said that they were hesitant to ask for help, if they asked for help at all.
And I guess it's harder too if you're already in a field that is kind of male dominated, or if the majority of your coworkers are males or something like that, and you're like, oh, I'm the only female, or I'm one of a few females there. You're like, well, I don't want to ask for help or whatever.
Right. And then put another layer on it and say you're the only Black person. So now you're only Black female with a bunch of white males.
Whole nother label.
Right. Right. How many times have you been the only Black person in the room? Like, that's still happening. I'm just, what? Yeah. I'm the only Black one?
Unfortunately.
Or fortunately for them.
Exactly. Because like you said, we are Black girl magic.
Yes, yes.
But yes. So yeah, those are just some of the things that we battle with as females. And I don't think we said it before. We're touching upon topics that highlight women or that affect women, because it is Women's History Month. So we want to get the discussion going so that we can better ourselves, empower more women, because we definitely have a story that needs to be told and everything. And we want to make sure we're not limiting ourselves based off of somebody else's perception of us too. So, but yeah, I just found that interesting with my job post, like all these females are applying. So
that's awesome. Come on, women, let's do it, ladies.
But I want to see some males too. Well, I would say this. Because this is the other thing. So there's two main positions at my particular office. I do see more females applying for the entry-level position. The other position is a little bit higher. When I post that higher position or whatever, or that requires more skills, I see more males applying to that. So
that's right. I don't know if this might jump into another topic, but you know, I think about that with those positions being posted, but haven't we as women, and I don't have the statistics on that, but aren't we in school more? Like, aren't we going to school?
Yeah.
We're getting education, but we're still not going for the high paying jobs.
Exactly. Exactly. We are, and they say Black women, I want to say, are the most like educated because we're getting these degrees. Now, this is a whole nother topic, because my mantra is like, I don't need a degree or certificate or whatever to prove anything. So I'm wondering, are we going after these different degrees and certificates to prove that we're even worthy? But if we don't mentally believe that we're worthy, we still won't go after these jobs. So it's like, how many certificates is it going to take? How many letters behind your name is it going to take before you realize you are worthy for these positions? And you could get the skills necessary. Let the job teach you or whatever. Go after what you think you are capable for. But that's a whole nother topic.
It surely is.
Yeah. And we probably need to wrap it on up. So anything else you wanted to say?
We want to hear your comments, what you think, your views, your experiences with this. Have you been the only female in the room, the only Black female in the room? How have you felt if you were in that situation with asking for advice, or did you feel like you had to be better than, or, you know, just prove yourself? So we know we're not alone on this. So we want to hear from you.
Yes. And have you thought twice about applying for certain positions because you didn't feel like you were totally qualified for it? So let us know in the comments.
Yes, we want to know.
Yes. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.